Alright, welcome back to Think About It. I got a joke for you, alright? Why can't the bike stand on its own?
Dude, what are you doing? You telling jokes? Get off my YouTube channel. Hey guys, sorry about that. Hey, welcome back to Think About It, where you can come and get a daily digital thought and update from me, all from a biblical worldview and all in under 3 minutes. Remember, our focus this week is not on jokes, but in the book of Jeremiah. If you haven't already, be sure to check out episodes 16 to 19 that set up more content and context through chapter 31. Last time we saw the uniqueness of Jeremiah in his ministry. He didn't just preach about judgment, he also preached about a new covenant later fulfilled by Jesus Christ. But in today's episode, we still see God's people rejecting his message after he fulfilled his word. And the mistake they made is one that we still see too often today. But that Thursday update is coming your way right now.
'Cause it was too tired.
Many believers live what we call a bifurcated life, a life that's split between their facts and their values. Facts are things that they treat as objective, proven on evidence. Values are the things seen as subjective, things that belong in private, opinions, emotions, and feelings. Facts belong in the public world, but values are in the private world. And the end result, a lot of believers live as if their faith is subjective and only allowed in private, never lived out in public. And that way of thinking is incredibly dangerous, for it bases a relationship with the God of the universe for the sake of eternity on how you feel, on how you hope, whether that's quickly denied by reason or evidence. And it cripples us for growth. But while we see that problem all too often in 2020, it's really nothing new. Jeremiah 44 proves my point. God has brought disaster just as he promised on Judah. Verses 4 to 6 give the reasons why, but we've already seen several times. God says, again and again, I sent the prophets, but you did not listen or pay attention. You do not stop burning incense to other gods. Therefore, my fierce anger has been poured out. It raged against the towns of Judah and the streets of Jerusalem. It made them desolate to this day. But chapter 44 continues with now many of God's people going to Egypt to start a new life. But Jeremiah has warned them not to go there. God now says judgment is going to follow them, and it's on its way in verses 11 and on. The summary is in verse 14. God says none of the remnant of Judah who have gone to live in Egypt will escape or survive to return. But what's so crazy is the next section. Those who hear Jeremiah's message respond, beginning in verse 15. They announce that they will not listen to him, and they promise to keep worshiping a false god, who they call the Queen of Heaven. We see her as Ishtar, a fake goddess of war and fertility, whose worshippers would engage in sexual activity. And the people give their reasons why. Verse 18, they say, ever since we've stopped worshiping her, we've had nothing, and we've been perishing by sword and famine. So I want you to check their logic. After all of Jeremiah's prophecy have been proven true, after God has kept his word to strip everything away from their false worship, they still commit to idolatry because they admit it is more comfortable for them. They base their relationship with God on feeling, and they claim that they're better off for it. So as you consider your life, be careful that you don't fall into the same trap. This COVID crisis has already changed a lot of ways that we feel about things. And frankly, nothing is going to feel the same for a while once we return back to normal. But remember these 4 words. Feelings change, but truth doesn't. And it seems to me that you're going to base your relationship with the God of the universe on anything. If you're going to base your eternity on anything, it better be the truth and certainly not feelings. Think about it.